How's it going? We are the Browns.
Yes.
I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Leah.
And here is Copper. Our little Sheba.
Say hi.
And we have a little cat, Brooklyn. She's running around somewhere.
Yeah, you probably won't see her very often in our vlogs, but she'll come around every now and then. But
yeah. And then there's Spike Lee, who's at work.
Yeah.
He's a bearded dragon, and he is Leah's class pet at her job. She's a teacher, and so am I.
Yeah. So before we begin our vlogs, we just wanted to take a moment to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about us, about how we met, and even what brought us to YouTube. So.
Yep. So to take it back a little bit, 6 years ago, I became a Christian at Hampton Roads Church of Christ. I was invited to church by one of my good friends, Raphael, and I sat down with him and studied the Bible with a couple other guys, and decided that I wanted to make Jesus Lord, and that was on July 18, 2010, and that's when I was baptized into Christ.
Yeah, and I grew up in the Church of Christ family for many years, since I was 5. My parents met there in that church, and just kind of, when it was just a churchgoer, but never really learned what it meant to completely follow God and to put God first in everything in my life. So, college years, I went off, did my own thing, and really learned a lot about myself. But more importantly, I learned what my life would look like without God as my focus. And so I came back to the church and studied the Bible, and I was baptized on Easter Sunday 2012? 2011, that's what it was, 2011, right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was really excited.
Yeah, so 2011, she is baptized, and almost instantly, there's a little rough patch, but almost instantly she becomes like little sister. Initially it's kind of annoying because I think before we really got to know each other, we had these thoughts in our head about how each other was.
Preconceived ideas.
There you go. I thought she was a stuck-up girl. She had this big hair, and I kind of just thought that she was, in her mind, all of that without even giving her time of day. And you thought I was, not thought I was, she thought my laugh was corny.
He has, well, not so much anymore.
It's the same laugh. Or
maybe I've just gotten used to it, but it just used to be this really like, kind of out there laugh. And I didn't get it.
Yeah, so initially we didn't really like each other, but about a month later we started to build a friendship.
Yeah.
Again, she was like little sister status, I was big brother, and that was how our friendship was at the time.
Yeah.
Then I went on a trip to Australia with my church, and it's kind of where, like a week before that, it's kind of where I was like, I think I kind of like this girl, and she wasn't there yet.
No.
Took her a little bit longer, but we had been friends for about 3 months at that time, and I said, all right, I'm going to Australia every week. I'm gonna Skype her. Australia, I was in Melbourne. It was 14 hours ahead, so
yeah.
My 8 a.m. was her
Friday night.
Yeah, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Or
the day before.
No, my 10 a.m. was her 8 p.m. That's what it is, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would Skype her every Saturday, but one Saturday she missed it. Well, her Friday, my Saturday. She missed it. I was heartbroken.
I didn't realize that he was calling or Skyping me consistently. I just thought it would be like random. I didn't ever keep track because, again, there wasn't really feelings there. It was a friendship for sure, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh my goodness, let me be in front of my computer right at this time. I didn't realize like what was happening. I was a bit oblivious, which is really funny.
Right. So then I spent 5 weeks in Australia, came back, and then decided I was going to take things full steam ahead. So I really pursued a relationship with her for about another 3 months. And then things kind of fell apart. We didn't have any solid boundaries on our friendship. And as a result, there was some concern as to if we moved forward and started dating, if we would have any boundaries in our dating relationship. And since our whole goal was to glorify God and have a pure relationship, then if there were concerns as to our boundaries as friends, then we heeded the advice and the caution before we started dating.
Yeah, and so just boundaries, I think spending a lot of time on the phone, hours and hours, and I think ordinarily that probably wouldn't be any alarm on my part, or maybe on your part as well. But I know for me, I wanted to do things differently than how I had done some of my other relationships. And so I was really grateful for the women and men and couples in my life and in his life that really just wanted the best for us and really wanted to see us have a relationship where we could, if the goal was the altar, where we could make it and just feel, like God's really fired up with the decisions we made. And so it was definitely hard. I remember he definitely took some drastic steps just to make sure we had some great, strong boundaries. But yeah, I know for me, I was really grateful because I just felt very protected, and I felt like he cared so much more about me as the person, not me for like what I could offer.
Yeah, and so believe it or not, I pursued a relationship with her for about 1.5 years. All of that before we actually started dating. And then when we started dating, we dated for another 1 year and 3 months. Now, that doesn't seem like a long time. But again, we were trying to do things God's way. And so you can put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out that really is a long time when there are some boundaries in trying to be holy in how you pursue a relationship. And then we were engaged on Mother's Day, 2014.
Yes, that was crazy. How crazy
was it?
It was really crazy. So I thought it was gonna happen the night before, so my coworker at the time, she was just very adamant about us going to the mall to find dresses. There was supposed to be an all-white salsa dance party. Yeah. And I really like salsa dancing, and so she was just like, we're not leaving this mall until we find something to wear. And I don't think I really thought about it, again, a bit oblivious, until I just saw how adamant she was about me finding something to wear. And I was like, I wonder if this is going down.
And that was an amazing dress. And honestly, originally it was supposed to be that day, but her dad was out of town on business, and so he had wanted to be there, and so I waited till the next day, which is what made it Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And so she was babysitting her brother and sister.
Yeah.
She was extremely exhausted. After church, she wanted to go home and go to sleep. And everybody around her was like, no.
Yeah, like one of my good friends, she was like, well, let's go to the mall and I'll bring you some vitamins and you won't feel so tired. And I forgot, but there was just a few people just trying to get me to go do stuff. And it's like, no, I think I'm gonna go home. No, I'm gonna go home. And so after service, like after they sang that last song, I was out the door.
Yeah.
I headed home, and I was gonna pick up lunch for my brother and sister, and already was gonna stop and get a movie from Redbox for them because I was going to go to sleep. I'd also just really started working like my full-time teaching position too, which was really exhausting. So, but yes, my mom had to be the one to call to make all my plans stop. So she pulled the Mother's Day card.
Thanks, Mom.
She said, "It is Mother's Day. I need you to come to this mall or right now." And you can't argue with Mama.
Yeah, and so she's meeting with her mom, and then I pull up or walk up, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And again, it's Mother's Day, so I played the mom card. She thought I was meeting with my mom for lunch or dinner, but nope, that wasn't the case. So I grab her, we start to walk and talk, and I'm stalling at this point because I'm still waiting on her dad to get back in town. And so...
Well, before that though, so you came over and asked me to walk with you. So I'm just thinking he wanted to run something past me, maybe like, hey, what do you think about the Mother's Day gift I got? But I have parked behind my mom, and she was parked in a no parking zone. And so we started walking further from the car, and I was like, I need to go back and move my car. Like, I can't leave my car there. And so we walked back so I could move my car, but then I saw my mom's car still there, and I didn't know where my mom went. So I kept calling, like, he kept trying to talk, and I was like, well, let me call her one more time. So I kept calling my mom.
Yeah. And so we played it off. I don't even know what Mom said, but
She just didn't answer.
There you go. So we kept walking and talking, and I was just mumbling again, just trying to stall for time while her dad drove. And then I see his black, he no longer has that car, but yeah, we saw his black car drive around. So I bust a quick U-turn and start to walk to the spot in which I was to propose. Oddly enough, there was a Tyler Perry play going on, and a woman kind of interrupted my pre-proposal with, "Hey, you want to buy some tickets?" No, thank you. And so we go up the stairs to the
fountain.
To the fountain, yeah.
Where your sister was standing in the middle.
My sister was for some reason standing in the middle, and then she takes off running. But it was because it was a little windy. I had made 2 big signs with all of our pictures from our dating time spelling out, "Will you marry me?" And there were some flowers in the middle, and she was picking up the flowers that had blown over.
Yeah. We'll put a picture somewhere, maybe like right here, so you can see it.
Yep, somewhere along those lines. So yes. She didn't really answer. She just started screaming, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." No, I'm not doing it any justice. But
I don't remember that part.
Right. Yeah, it was just loud. And so I got down on one knee and said, "Will you marry me?" And she just put her hand out. And that was it. So we took some pictures.
I was not there. I was not.
So
I was not.
So then we went to Dave and Buster's for an engagement party, which was fun. But that's our story in short. Yeah. And we got married 3 months later, August 16th.
We were teachers, so we needed to do it still over the summer. And so we could have a honeymoon, and we literally came back from our honeymoon and went right into training for the summer. So we went to Cabo San Lucas. Yeah, Cabo San Lucas for our honeymoon, and it was an experience. We'll just say that. So
that was 2 years ago. Since then, we've changed jobs, we've changed living locations, housing. We've had a couple of additions, Copper and Brooklyn, and then Spike Lee. But it's been great, just learning how to be married, learning how to live for God, and advance His kingdom. I think in spite of Copper being underneath us trying to play with his toy, but in spite of anything else that life could have thrown at us, we've still fought for our marriage and to love God. So we want to vlog because she wants to vlog.
I wanted to start vlogging. It was my idea. I've always fooled around with the idea of maybe vlogging or me making a beauty channel, trying to do some hair tutorials or some makeup tutorials. But I just never really did it. I'm very shy at heart, but it's not like who I want to be. I don't want to be a shy person. I think in the classroom, like, it's really easy for me to get up and just talk in front of people and be silly with my kids. But I don't know, I guess high schoolers do judge you pretty hard, but I don't feel that, but they're high schoolers, so it's not that I don't take them seriously, but it doesn't weigh as much as maybe like my peers. But yeah, so I've always wanted to be one of those people that just kind of put myself out there and can be spontaneous and let's do something fun, but I just never really had the courage to do it. And so I used to model, and modeling allowed me kind of the platform to do that. Like, I could just get out there and I didn't really have to talk with people or like interact with people, but I could just wear the clothes or portray an image, and I really did enjoy that. But I think the modeling scene can just be very interesting and hard to navigate sometimes, so I did end up getting out of it. So YouTube is kind of like the next best thing to being able to put myself out there, but I get to do it on my terms. So I'm really excited, guys, just to share with you our lives and our hearts, and even make some friends. And so we will for sure do our best to respond to the different comments that you guys have, even suggestions if there's things you guys want to see. But yeah, we'll do our best just to incorporate you guys into our family as much as possible. Be nice to us in the comments. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else.
So I was very reluctant to vlog. I think there's just a vulnerability that I did not want to have. That was for Copper, but I also just didn't want to be exposed. I think it challenges me to want to be open and let people in, and I think I was being very selfish in that, though, because this has been her dream, and so I was withholding that dream from her. And so we would practice on our cell phones from time to time, and you'll see some of those clips. Yeah, I think it was just a matter of me realizing that this is her dream and that I shouldn't withhold this from her. So 2 days ago, she got this camera, and it was an early birthday present for her.
Yes.
It was kind of my way of saying, here you go, I'm on board, let's do this. I will adjust accordingly, but I wanted to make her happy, for one, happy wife, happy life. But two, just to make sure that she was able to fulfill her dream.
Yeah, thanks.
So, we will let you guys into our family, and hopefully you will become one of our little brownies.
Yeah.
Maybe we can meet and share and just have a fun time together. Anything else?
Yeah, so we're gonna try to vlog definitely on the weekends.
At least.
At least on the weekends. teachers, we kind of live pretty routine lives.
Yep.
We wake up really early, we teach, we come home, have a very early dinner, and a very early bedtime. So there's not a lot happening during the week. So on the weekends, though, we do try to get out, and I think even trying to come up with video ideas or just different things to film, I think it's going to force us to get outdoors and not just stay grading papers, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, me too.
So we'll film on the weekends, and so by Sunday you should be able to see the videos uploaded from the weekend. And on Mondays, that's usually just our family time to kind of sit indoors and
not do anything.
Yeah, not do much of anything.
We try.
So we have some surprises that I think will be fun. I don't know if any of you guys are big movie people, but we do like to watch movies.
We do.
And we tend to have a lot of commentary while we watch movies. And so on Mondays, really, you just put me out there like that.
Had to. I'm not the movie talker.
I'm not a movie talker either. I just try to experience what the characters are experiencing.
And then talks back to those characters, depending on the movie.
Everybody needs a little Jiminy Cricket.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we will bring you along as we watch and critique different movies. So I'm really excited about that.
Brown potatoes.
Yes, it'll be the brown potato.
Not the Rotten Tomato.
Not the Rotten Tomato, but the brown potato segment of our vlog.
Yes.
So, anyway, we hope you guys feel welcomed. We're so excited to have you here, and we hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe and become a little brownie.
Yeah, so like she said, like it up, jump on the sub, and comment below.